Hey, welcome to the AFL and NRL best bets video for Sunday's games. In this video, I'm going to go through the two AFL games, Western Bulldogs versus West Coast, my best bet for that matchup, and also my best bet for the Richmond Swans game. And over in the NRL, I'm going to go through my best bet for the Canberra Cronulla Sharks game. We'll start with the Bulldogs West Coast game with the line at minus 52.5. I feel like this situation is Bulldogs kind of win by around the 30 to 50 point range, or they blow this game out and win by 80, 90 points. I contemplated having a look at, the line of minus 70, which is around $3. It's not quite enough to make a play on it, but I think they win this game very comfortably. But the way I want to play it is from a player prop perspective. The West Coast Eagles gave up the second most disposals to opposition players last season. This year, they're conceding even more disposals, ranked last in the league, but now well over 380 touches for the opposition. So I'm going to go with the Bulldogs' two leading disposal players in Marcus Bontempelli and Adam Treloar, both to have 25 plus touches. It's $1.80 at Sportsbet. So far this season, Bontempelli's had 25 and 32, and Treloar's had 31 and 27 touches. They've cleared it in both games. Last season, both these players consistently went over 25 touches or more. And so against the Eagles, who we know the opposition midfield are going to get plenty of disposals against, I'm definitely happy with this play at $1.80. And then in the later game, Richmond take on the Sydney Swans. With the Tigers and Swans game, you're able to match up the form lines, and they're both going different directions. The teams that the Swans played, Essendon have since come out and beaten St Kilda. Collingwood lost their following game, but have since beat the Brisbane Lions. Melbourne today beat Port Adelaide, who Swans were able to beat Melbourne by 22 points back in the opening round. And last week, Port Adelaide beat Richmond by 30 points with 32 scoring shots. And obviously, Carlton have come out and beat North Melbourne. Obviously, don't want to read into that too much. And then the Suns won their following game against the Crows, but that kind of looks like a bit of a weak form line as well through that game. So the form line's kind of going different directions. So that instantly leads me in favor of the Swans winning this game and likely winning it well. The other thing that's really pushing me towards the Swans in this matchup is the number of inside 50s. Richmond are conceding. They're ranked last in the league, conceding 63 inside 50s per game. And the Swans are one of the most efficient sides when going inside 50, and they're ranked fourth in inside 50. So this game's going to be played in the Swans forward half. So they're just going to continue getting plenty of chances to score. So for those reasons, taking the Swans minus 27.5 at $1.91 at Bet365. So that's going to be the second play for tomorrow in the AFL. And then over in the NRL, there's two games being played, the Warriors versus Knights and Sharks versus Raiders. I'm going to stay out of the Warriors-Knights game. I think the Warriors win, but at minus 9.5, which the line's currently at, it's too big of a spread to take. And as that number gets into the double digits, the more I lean towards the Knights to cover. But I don't really love taking underdogs with the points unless I think they have a chance of winning the game as well. Like, for example, the Bulldogs, I was happy taking them plus 6.5 because I thought they could also win the game outright. Obviously, they didn't win, but they were able to cover the spread. Then in the Sharks-Raiders game, this matchup, the Raiders have a really, really good record against the Sharks. Sharks won the most recent matchup, and statistically, all those numbers favor the Sharks. But obviously, the Cronulla's coming off a really bad performance against the West Tigers last week. They definitely need to improve in attack. The pressure's kind of on Nico Hines this week to step up and help the Sharks put points on the board. This season, the Raiders games have been a touch higher scoring. Todd Smith's in charge of this game. His matches last season were averaging 43 points, and I always liked this game to go over. So I'm going to take the total, which is set at 40.5, and take the over in this game. We've also seen 12 of the past 17 have gone over between these two sides, and with it set at 45.5 for this meeting last year, even though there was only 30 points scored, that was obviously one of the games that went under. That's a big drop off to go from 40 at 5.5 down to 40.5. So Cronulla Sharks over 40.5, $1.91 at Bet365. So the three plays we're going with: Sharks Raiders over 40.5. Then in the AFL, Sydney Swans minus 27.5. And then over on Sportsbet, same game multi in the Bulldogs West Coast game, Marcus Bontempelli 25 plus and Adam Treloar 25 plus touches at $1.80. If you're following along, good luck. I'll also be posting my bets for the Monday games. In the NRL, the Eels take on the Tigers, and in the AFL, Hawthorn take on Geelong. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to follow along. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any bets. I'm going to be posting videos like this, breaking down the games, going through what I'm betting right throughout the season. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I'll continue posting these videos.